Russia and the United States are restoring bilateral relations.
Syria and Lebanon reach ceasefire agreement at border.
Indian artisans keep traditional toy making alive.
You are watching today's news on NTV. My name is Nguyễn Thương and I will be your guide through today's latest update. On March 17, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that Russia and the United States are on the path to restoring bilateral relations and re-establishing dialogue mechanism at various levels.
Mr. Dmitry Peskov confirmed that Russian President Vladimir Putin and his counterpart Donald Trump will have a telephone conversation on March 18, local time. Mr. Peskov added that the telephone conversation between the two presidents is an important step, moving forward on the path of reactivating bilateral relations. However, the two leaders have no plans to meet face-to-face. If the two leaders decide to meet, preparations will take place within the timeframe they set themselves. President Trump is trying to win President Putin's support for a 30-day ceasefire proposal that Ukraine accepted last week. As both sides continued heavy aerial strikes and Russia moved closer to ejecting Ukrainian forces from the western Russian region of Kursk.
Syria's defense authority announced that Syria and Lebanon reached an agreement to implement a ceasefire along their shared border and enhance military coordinations.
The agreement reached between the defense authorities of both countries aims to reduce tensions and prevent further hostilities in the border region. The announcement follows a recent escalation between Syria and Hezbollah, after Damascus accused the group of kidnapping and executing 3 Syrian soldiers near the border. An allegation Hezbollah has denied. Syria also blamed Hezbollah for a targeted attack on journalists and shelling a water station in western Homs, further fueling tensions. According to Lebanese health authorities, 7 people have been killed and 52 others injured over 2 days of clashes along the Lebanese-Syrian border.
Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Hòa Bình met with Financial Secretary to the Treasury Lord Livermore to discuss economic, trade and investment cooperation between the two countries during his working visit to the UK on March 17.
At the meeting, Deputy Prime Minister Nguyen Hoa Binh affirmed that the UK is a key strategic partner of Vietnam, with strong cooperation through mechanisms such as the UK-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement and the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. Vietnam is prioritizing 2 key cooperation objectives: boosting bilateral trade and attracting British investment in major projects, including offshore wind power and green finance. For his part, Mr. Lord Livermore hailed the strong economic ties between the two countries. He underscored that the UK's accession to the CPTPP would unlock further cooperation opportunities between two countries.
Coming up next are some updated news.
The airport representative has announced that the domestic passenger terminal T3 at Tan Son Nhat International Airport in Ho Chi Minh City is slated for inauguration on April 30th this year. Initially, the new terminal will only serve domestic flights of 2 airlines, the national carrier Vietnam Airlines and the budget carrier Vietjet Air. T3 terminal is designed to handle domestic flights and welcome up to 20 million passengers a year. The project is invested with nearly 11 trillion Vietnamese dongs, $434 million, by the Airports Corporation of Vietnam, ACV.
According to the Department of Customs, Vietnam's import-export value reached $1.05 billion United States dollars, with over 20.300 declarations processed on March 15. The first day of implementing the newly restructured customs model, the introduction of a new IT system within the revamped organizational structure ensured seamless processing of goods, vehicles, and transit shipments, enabling swift customs clearance without any delays. Realizing the 12th Party Central Committee's Resolution 18 on streamlining the political system's organizational structure. On March 15, The customs sector began operating under three-level models: the Department of Customs, regional customs offices, and border checkpoints.
As many as 350 renowned international brands will join the Café Show Vietnam 2025 and Tea Show Vietnam 2025. The event will take place in Ho Chi Minh City from April 17th to April 19th. The highlight of the show will be the Asia's signature battle competition themed Heritage Flavor, to honor and promote the value of Vietnamese culinary culture, thereby encouraging creativity and innovations in the bartending industry. The event is expected to provide an ideal venue for international and Vietnamese contestants to sharpen their bartending skills whilst competing for valuable prizes, as well as seizing opportunities to participate in the World Battle to be held in Seoul, South Korea.
The whir of machine and smell of carved good hang in the air of the toy workshop in Channapatna, Indian town, where around 2,500 artisans are employed in the industry. The century-old art form still alive despite the threat of cheaper plastic alternative and replica.
India's town of Channapatna is famed for its wood and lacquered toys. Carved from ivory wood from a local deciduous tree, rocking horses, baby walkers and dancing dolls cut from wood are a common sight in workshops, which employ around 2,500 artisans in the town in the southern state of Karnataka.
I felt interest in learning toy making after I saw people in my neighborhood doing it. Making toys gives me a sense of joy and happiness.
Rising competition from mass-produced toys, including cheap replicas made in China, has cast a shadow on the growth of the industry in the town, but it has endured. The town's product saw a surge of interest in 2010 when former U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama bought several in the capital, New Delhi. During an official visit to India, the toys were once all hand-carved, but the use of electric lathes and other machinery has helped keep the economics of this industry. In the old days, every work demanded artisans, but now, with a few at hand, machines can help with different tasks. Business is not bad for the 53-year-old man, with his factory getting orders for around thousands from suppliers all around the country during peak months. He said that customers value the long-lasting quality of the toys. When we dry the ivory wood properly and apply lacquer and vegetable dyes, the toys will remain the same for hundreds of years. But he said that his trade would perish in the long run without more support earlier this month. The government pledged a scheme aimed at making India a global hub for innovative and unique toys that showcased local culture. According to Mr. Venkatesh, authorities needed to go further by opening workshops to help cultivate a new generation of artisans.
That is the end of today's news. Thanks for your watching and see you next time.